one day be divine. When our thoughts have been aligned, our world can be defined. The only reason we're alive is to one day be divine. 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 Maybe one day we will find all the things we left behind. The only reason we're alive is to one day be divine. When our thoughts have been aligned, our world can be defined. The only reason we're alive is to one day be divine. 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 Is to one day be divine.
Hello. Hello, friends. How are you guys today? I just realized I have the wrong image here. Oopsie. Ah, there it is. Oh, that's the wrong one too. Nailed it. There we go. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Sorry for the technical difficulties. My name is Anna Carolina, and today I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time, which is a full solo stream, all in English. I've been doing solo streams in Portuguese or group streams and nothing in between. So today we're going to, I'm going to take the sculpt a little bit farther with you guys today. It's just an anatomy study. As you can tell, I threw on a little bra for her and it's a mess, so we need to fix that. I want to work on like some muscle groupings, kind of like secondary detailing. The back is kind of a mess, so I'm going to try to address that today. But I think I'm going to start by making the rest of her little outfit. So I'm going to pull up my references. I use software called PureRef, by the way. And my cat broke into the room today, so you guys might see or hear him today. It's gonna be funny. So for reference, I am using these 3D scans of real people. I think that's one of the better ways to learn, like to study anatomy, because you can see it with different lighting. You can see it from different angles. It's really good. It just really breaks it down for you, especially if you're beginning. I recommend it. This music is really loud, isn't it? One sec. Hello. I think it's better now, right? Can you guys hear me? Diabolical, hi, are you Portuguese? No, I am Brazilian, but I speak Portuguese. So friends, let's get with it. Let's get with it. So I'm going to basically just continue to polish this. Maybe block in the bra and the bikini, I guess. I don't know what she's wearing, honestly. I think it's a swimsuit. And I'll introduce myself as we start. Oh, by the way, this is my cat. This is Sparkles. He's here to steal the show. But he has to go. You are? You are Portuguese? Tudo bem? Pedro, olá, tudo bem? Como você tá? First things first, 1 second, because my Wacom tablet mapping on set itself. Just going through the very what do you call it? Realistic motions of sculpting or doing any sort of digital arts. There we go. Now it should work. I wonder why like the tablet just decides to like unmap itself every once in a while. It's super weird. But yeah guys, let's get started. There's still a whole lot to go. As you can tell, like we've got kind of a base and she's asymmetrical and it's like, you know, it looks like an overly simplified version of what we're trying to accomplish, which I guess is what a blackout kind of is. The Black Goo Gamer. Hello, how are you? Hello Anna, have you used any digital tablet with screen? Are they good to 3D modeling? Dums, yes, I have tried. I have actually like used one for a while. They are great for digital sculpting and 3D modeling. Actually, like, you know, if you're 3D modeling, you might not use a tablet, but I'm sure people do all the time. I don't like them myself. I think they are bad for my carpal tunnel syndrome. You know, they're not very ergonomical for me personally, but everybody else loves them, so. Reeboks, what did you decide with trying out stylized? Oh my god, I haven't decided yet. I am moving very slow. This is a strange time. How's everybody holding up, by the way? How's everybody holding up during these coronavirus times? Alright, so I'm going to make the swimsuit at the bottom. So I'm going to do it by using a mask pen, I guess. I think this will be important because it'll help me visualize you know, where the muscle is supposed to go. And this masking process doesn't have to be perfect because sorry, my phone is ringing. This masking process doesn't have to be perfect because I can just move the swimsuit after. Although, for me, I always say that my biggest struggle with ZBrush is to make straight lines. So let me introduce myself a little bit, because I haven't done a stream in English in a very long time. My name is Ana Carolina Pereira. I am a technical artist by profession. I work making serious games in virtual reality. My hair is a mess, but like I do a lot of kind of like scripting and shader creation and stuff like that. But I've always had a very important, like a very big. Oh, bless you! That's my cat. Now he's choking. I've always had a very big part of my heart dedicated to ZBrush and character sculpting. I've been living in the United States for about 7 years, but I'm from Brazil originally. I'm just happy to be here with you guys today. And I hope everybody's doing okay today. Is this for a game? Black Goo Gamer? No, this is just for a, it's just a study. Go ahead and block this area out as soon as possible. Essa Ayub, thank you so much. Digital Magic, always looking in Hong Kong. Yeah, that's good. Here in Texas, like, I don't hear like that there's much problem, but like everybody's staying at home, you know. Black Goo Gamer, drinking Corona so the virus scare subsides. Digital Magic, thank you for this tutorial, no problem. Make sure to ask any questions if you have any, by the way, guys. So I'm gonna keep going. The reason I'm asking is because I'm going to extract oh my gosh. I will extract the selection and turn it into its own geometry. I'll show you guys how to do that. But I'm sure everybody already kind of knows how to do that. I don't know how I'm gonna do this bottom part, honestly. Just do my best. And I hope everybody's staying safe. Social distancing, I haven't gone outside in many days. But actually, I really enjoy it. Like, not to sound bad, but like, staying at home is nice for me. And then Mike, we are doing okay. The government helps people with the salary if they got fired, or as a student, I can loan more since I can't work. Okay, that's not so bad. Here in the United States, people are just, I guess, like losing their jobs and not getting anything. It's pretty bad. Digital Magic here from Texas too. What are the benefits of using ZBrush if you don't work in the game industry? Great question. So it comes down to what do you want to create. You don't have to work in industry to create beautiful sculptures, digital sculptures. You don't have to work in industry to create characters or to do 3D prints, or even like, heck, if you wanted to even make games, you don't have to be in the industry necessarily to really do that. You can do that yourself, you know. There's then the possibilities are endless. You just gotta know if you feel that call to do that, you know. It's like clay sculpting, but better because you don't have to buy clay every time you start a new one, and you don't have to like store them in your house on a shelf somewhere, you know. Like, it's great if you feel the desire to just create. ZBrush is a great tool to do that. You don't have to be a professional. So I'm gonna walk you guys through how I'm gonna extract this real fast. Like, the bra is very temporary, I guess. But basically, I'm just going to go in here to geometry. Where do I go from here? Subtool, actually. Extract. And then I'm gonna hit this extract button right here. And then it's gonna give me a preview. So like, for one, I can know that I have like a bad mask right here. So I'm gonna just fix that for a sec. First, because it'll give me less headaches later. Try again. Oops. Nailed it. I accidentally undid that. Alright, let's do it again. make sure that the part that you want to extract is the part that's masked. Okay, so I think that's kind of good enough. It's gonna be all wobbly because, you know, of my masking skills. But that's okay because whenever we actually extract, it's going to give us this like nice edge mask that's automatic so that we can actually fix it. So I'm going to accept. Turn the body back on. So you have this nice mask. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a smoothing. I really like doing this. It helps quite a bit with my wobbliness. Maybe if I try the smooth directional brush, which I've been trying to use lately. To use it, you need to go here in the brushes palette and to smooth. It just makes it straighter. Hi Anna, do you have any advice on finding a mentor? The first thing that you should know before you find a mentor is, why do you want a mentor? What kind of mentor do you want? Is it a purely art mentor, like you just want somebody to help you out and kind of motivate you while you are sculpting or whatever? So now I'm going to take the inflate brush and just going to inflate the corners just a little bit. That'll help give it a little bit. Right now this is just kind of a little block out too, guys, so I'm not going to take this too far. You just kind of want to get the shape relatively correct. The clay buildup, I'm going to just create a little bit of this volume in this right here. But not too much or anything. So know exactly what you want from a mentor. That will come in that'll be very important when selecting one. Know whether you want to pay or like if you want to just trade services. I know that people sometimes like they'll take a mentor and become like the mentor's kind of like intern for a little bit to like make it worth their time, I guess. And then just talk to the people who are interested in being mentors. That's like super important, right? Because otherwise you'll never know if they're the right one for you. This would be a really great situation for me to have downloaded like some sort of like cloth folds brush pack, but I didn't think ahead. There's one called Silly Clothes Pack. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I know it's called Silly. That they just make amazing like brushes for cloth folds and stuff like that. Work home, play video games, and I can walk the bike. Pretty much the same for me. I understand people. I wish my life was a little bit more like this, more home life. Seeing happy, hello. Visual magic pays to do 3D prints. Yeah, 3D prints are really good and fun. Like you can see your characters come to life. If you play D&D or something, you can like use them as your miniatures. Good morning, CG Psycho. Hi. Please make the Wonder Woman. At one time, I think I started making one. What's that brush called? Which one? Sorry, I didn't read this until just now. The smooth one you went into the folders for. Ah, nice. It's called Smooth Directional. Is the stream having a lot of glitches for everybody? Nicholas Tesla, hi, hello. How much time did it take for you to get to this level? Ramik, I've been doing ZBrush for like 6 years now. But, I mean, like 6 years ago was when I first found it, you know, and I started using it. So I guess 6 years, but before that I had been doing a lot of drawing, a lot of observational drawing, things like that, like from real life, which is a kind of skill set that tends to help with ZBrushing. Now I'm just gonna I inverted the mask, and I'm kind of just building down a volume near the edges. Kind of make it look like there's a seam there, but right now there isn't gonna be any. Too hard. I'm just using an inflate brush for this. It helps with creating volume in such thin pieces of geometry. Kind of messy. Let me turn my smooth brush intensity down. If you want to turn your smooth brush intensity down, just press and hold space, and then press and hold shift, and then all of a sudden you'll get all the options for your smoothing brush. So you can turn intensity up and down, you can make it RGB or not. So now the intensity is a little lower. I'm gonna smooth out some of these like really bad bits, especially in the back. Just a block in for now, but it kind of does the job while I can now like form it to the body in a little bit better way. Like the side in the reference is like lower, so we can pull it down. And this will just help me and visualize the final product, and it'll help me figure out, you know, like are my muscle shapes correct according to the reference. I use ZBrush as a hobby, but I would like to make money doing it. But as an independent artist, is it possible? Oh, absolutely! It's totally, 100% totally possible. Like, ridiculously possible, in fact. Actually, am I not streaming to Facebook? Let's see. I haven't been getting any messages from Facebook, so I'm worried. But yeah, it's so possible. Like, it doesn't matter if you're using ZBrush or not, you know. If you can make money with your art online, no problem at all. One sec, guys. I'm just checking to see if everything's okay here. You understand, like, it's about how you market yourself, it's about what you're creating, who's your target audience more than anything. if using ZBrush, you could sell 3D prints. You could sell, gosh, like literally anything. You can make people's characters into a 3D print and just, you know, kind of on commission basis. You could, gosh, you could do so much. It all comes down to your style, your audience, things like that, and not the tool you use. You'll find that the tools, their job is to enable you and your ambitions. They're not the end game, you know, they're just literally, it's in the name, it's a tool. Hey Max, I'm doing good, how are you? I'm gonna pull this out here because, like, clothes don't really go into ridges unless there's something built into the clothes to make that possible. That's how you end up with like animes that have like shirts that go around the boobs. That's not really something that happens in real life. In real life, like if there's a ridge in between two shapes, it kind of like just stays straight. Unless there's been some sort of like construction in that clothing itself. Like this. See how there's like actual construction in the clothing itself to create that that effect. But normally this would be completely straight. So I have to take attention to that, including in places like this where she has like this very large like muscle ridge right here in her hip, and like her bikini shouldn't be entering that ridge and coming out. It should be straight between the two tallest points. Twitch is lagging. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. There is a normal lag for every stream that I've ever done. This is my blockout bikini, but like if I were doing this for real, I think the method I would have used is to kind of like almost like retop it on. Kind of like draw on the geometry of the bikini like perfectly straight, kind of like a low poly version before the high poly version. Alright, so now we have this blocked out bottom part. I should probably work on the top part just a little bit because it sucks. My cat is eyeballing a water glass all the way at the other corner of the room, and I'm like streaming ZBrush and watching the cat be bad. So how have you guys been spending your time now that everything's a little bit more shut down than usual? I'm going to create kind of like this middle part of the bra right here, just to connect these two parts, and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna just insert primitives, like this low poly one right here should be fine. I really don't like things like this, like that looks just like a flower detail, and I'm like, God, I hate that kind of stuff. I'm gonna leave it like this for now. Have you ever tried the game / software called Dreams? No, but I've watched people do it all the time. It's incredible. Like, somebody on Twitter made like a perfect pudding or something, like something great. I think I just broke my head. And he looks so nice. Oh, the cat's here again. He is so cute. But also today's not the date for that, Sparkles. Oh, by the way, guys, I have my own Twitch channel where I do a different kind of stream. I wonder why Twitch is glitching out so much. Where I do a different kind of stream, but it's still ZBrush, so feel free to come join us, and if you want to ask me any questions privately or anything like that, make sure to follow me on social media and send me a message, and I will get to it. I think I'm just gonna Sculptress Pro this away. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm just going to turn Sculptress Pro on, and I'm just gonna smooth this away. I'm gonna like leave it up here maybe. I kind of don't want to spend too much time on this brow situation because, like, I'm gonna throw it away, but I want to get to anatomy today. Tomorrow I think I'm gonna make the final thing, like the final brows on my personal channel on Twitch. So if you're interested in that, make sure to follow me on Twitch and come hang out with us. Tomorrow at 5 PM Central Time. I think I'm gonna like actually retop the bra and all that, like start it from scratch. The music just stopped by itself. Kind of like reform these bottom bits so that they're not as spiky and awful. Alright, now we can get to anatomy. I've been stuck in the apartment for 3 months already. Hope this ends soon before I go crazy. Where do you live, Digital Magic? I think that you've been stuck that long. My headphones keep stop working, and whenever they stop working, the music for the stream also stops working. Fun fact. Okay, you're in Hong Kong. How did you feel the first few weeks that you were stuck at home?
今日からマイクの機材を変えたので、音声がちゃんと聞こえてるかどうか。
That is a different Pixologic stream. That I was like, what is that? That's a past Pixologic stream, I guess. Nailed it. Olaf, I am working from home. I started working from home last Friday, so not this past Friday, but the one before that. And it all escalated really fast, it feels like our building and stuff, they were like, I don't know, if you want to work from home, you can, but like, you don't have to, and then it like all changed, and everybody was like, shit, you have to work from home now. Alright, so I'm going to start here on the body. I'm gonna go down a couple subdivisions and start working on the chest area, because like, she is somebody who lifts, very inspirational. So I'm going to like start adding in like a proper amount of pectorals. Here, I had stuff to remember. Hope ZBrush goes full VR and with gloves sculpt. Nice. I mean, that is a hope that I also have. But like I must say, like, I try to limit my time spent in VR. A lot. I don't think it's good for me to spend too much time in VR, and I feel like if ZBrush was in VR, I'd never come out again. Do you feel that way at all? For me, it is normal. I stay in the apartment for long periods when I am working on a project. Did you have enough food and things like that before that you were stuck at home? So one thing I need to really be careful about is that I have this like dip here. I had it on this side too, but I'm trying to work on it, which is not very realistic and it's not working very well. So I need to like fill this volume up. Make sure that there's no dip there. It's a little bit better. Not 100%, but you know.
皆さんおはようございます。時間になりました
He's
の
really
で、
trying to go live. Alright, so that feels a little bit better for me. I'm looking for any other like unnatural dips that she might have. I think right here I saw one. One thing that I like to do, by the way, whenever I'm doing an anatomy sculpt that I just realized I'm not really doing, is I like to use the basic material, but I go in here because I want to make it reflect light a little bit better. So I go to modifiers and I turn the specular up just a little bit, and that will help with the highlighting. You see, like, it kind of brings highlights out. So I'm not gonna do dramatic, I think I'm just gonna keep it a little bit down. But that will really help you be able to like see the difference in volumes. Like now I can see that there's a little bit of pinching right here. Do you see like a V shape right there that shouldn't be there? Otherwise I probably wouldn't have seen that. I'm just gonna kind of round this out. Just imagine, I'm 70 years of age, so this is good for me. That's good. I'm really enjoying my time home. But I've only been 1 week, so I don't know. My boss says that he thinks it's going to be 2 months and a half before we have to go back to work. Like, back to work physically, I mean. God, I'm sorry for the music problem where the music just kind of stops playing. I can fix it by messing with my headphones. The left one. Maybe if I take my headphones off, there will be music. Sorry guys, let me troubleshoot this. There it is. No, I can't hear it, but that's okay. Maybe I can hear it. Here, there is great delivery, and I'm prepper, so all is okay. Good. Amazing. I'd like to learn how to use this program. John Torres, yes, this is a fantastic program. I definitely recommend it. It's good if you're just have an itch to make some art. It's good if you want to 3D print stuff, if you want to work for games or movies, if you want to meet characters. It's fantastic software. I think the shapes of the implants on mine is a little bit off. I think I need to come here and kind of drop it down just a little bit. There has to be carefully, and it has to be as symmetrically as possible. I think it looks a little bit better. Put it down just right here. Now the bra is like... This can't be a this can't be a curve anyway. It's got to be straight. If you guys remember what I was telling you guys about. Of course, this is not straight, but you get the point. Nowadays, it's a luxury to have the time to sit and sculpt. I would agree with that. I always feel very lucky whenever I have the time and the energy at the same time. You know, like, those two things for me need to be at the same time. I told my family in the US to get medicine just in case. Learning curve with ZBrush is not bad. It's really not. It looks scary because there's a lot going on, right? But deep down, most artists only use like 5 brushes, 5 tools of ZBrush to like make amazing models. Like, you don't need to know everything, you know. Leave-bot, I have never used that software. Guys, so I want to talk about something, and I want to make this a discussion because I'd like to hear your opinions about this topic, if it's ever happened to you, stuff like that. So, after I became like a professional in my field, right? I feel like art became a really high pressure thing to do. You know, I wasn't having as much fun with it anymore. Every time I did anything, I was like, okay, what are people gonna think about this? Like, what are they gonna say? Are they gonna say I'm stupid or bad? This is just my inner monologues. I'm not a person who believes in themselves terribly amounts. Like, I've really worked on it. Like, therapy helps, and like reading helps, and realizing that like the world is chaos and we all live on a rock and we better live our best lives while we can is a thing too. But like, it's become so high pressure for me that I lost a lot of my joy and happiness while doing it, because I can't shake the feeling that, you know, I'm either bad at it or people are gonna think I'm bad at it. Have you guys ever been through that? And have you guys ever figured out how to get out of it? I'm trying to spend this time that I'm in quarantine, or like self-isolation, more like. I'm trying to spend that time trying to regain joy and independence in my art. Independence because like I don't need to think what everybody's gonna think, you know? Like, that's not a very independent sort of mindset. So I'm trying to regain that, and I was talking about it on Twitter yesterday. But there are ways for us to regain our like joy in our work again, and all these different things. And one of the ways I'm doing is I want to watch shows and movies and stuff that show people loving their craft and become inspired to do the same again. Somebody told me to watch Kiki's Delivery Service, which I might do today if I can find it. I wonder if it's on Netflix. But yesterday I watched Julie and Julia. Basically, I'm trying to get this muscle right here to be straighter. Like, it's not supposed to have that dip. You know. But yeah, tell me in chat if it's something similar has happened to you. I would imagine that it's a very common thing. Because for a lot of us, our arts is our hobby for a long time. And we like love it, and it's our passion and all these things. But then like once it becomes a job, then things start to change. Either inside of us or externally. The Black Blue Gamer, thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Of course. There's still magic. At first I felt the same, but when I started to not care what others think, my love my love for art came back in stronger. Really? So how were you able to stop caring what others think? Please tell us more about that. I just thought the same. Most professionals use few brushes. I mean, it's true, they don't use that many. Like, some people do. Like, I think Pablo Muniz, like, he's amazing. He, like, knows what everything in ZBrush does, like, every button. And he uses a lot of it. So, like, he's an exception, I think. Hi. That's my cat. Hello. You need something? I gotta fix this armpit, like, ASAP. I make music and the same thing applies. The only way to get past that is by forgetting the obligatory aspect. So how do you do that? Everybody who says they can forget or let go of people thinking about them, please tell me how. I know that sounds like stupid, straightforward advice. No, it's not stupid. It's like, it's really difficult to stop caring what people think, especially if you have like low self-esteem and stuff. So how do you do it? I'm like curious because I would like to do it, but I've been working on it and I've gotten a lot better. But you know, at the same time, I am here like streaming all the time and like being completely vulnerable in front of complete strangers. Cat's here again. Just let him be good. But not on my tablet, bro. You know, it takes a lot to go through all this in in front of people. Okay, you're gonna have to excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. And he's purring into the microphone and stuff. Cutie pie. He's here to tell you to believe in yourselves. Next thing he's probably gonna do is sneeze. Because I need you to excuse me, cat. Hi Focus, how are you? This is not okay. This right here, it's just not okay at all. Here. Everybody say bye to the cat. Paulo, olá, tudo bem? What is the name of the program to show pictures in the left bottom corner? It's called Pereira. The name is actually right here on screen. I think that when you've been studying art or doing art as a hobby for fun and then you start doing art as a paid job, you really need to find a new hobby for it to remain fun. You think so? That's probably my problem. Like, I legit didn't have a hobby besides art while working in art for years, and then eventually I got new hobbies, you know, like, really honestly, I still don't really have hobbies. Like, for a while I was really into plants, and then I bought 70 plants, and they're still alive. Most of them are still alive anyway. I'm not gonna go and say that I've done a perfect job, but you know, I had that hobby for a little while, but then like it died off. Speaking of plants and hobbies, my cat's eating a plant. Sparkles. No. You know what? He'll be fine. Oh my god, I made it bumpy. Female anatomy is so good, isn't it? Really like good and fun to work on. I work on one monitor and watch streams the other. When I saw what others were pointing out, and no matter what I did, they still complained. They would do the same and not have a problem with it. I learned that it's my art. as long as the client likes it and I'm happy with it, that's all that matters to me. That's a really healthy way to look at it. It's fun. And it helps you avoid perfectionism, which is something that a lot of us suffer from. I say as if it's like a horrible disease. But it's true, like perfectionism, like it's like a mental block that just keeps you from being able to even accomplish anything, because nothing's ever good enough. So like a lot of people don't even try. I'm basically like smoothing out this area because it's very incorrect. So like I figured I would just kind of start from scratch. Art is subjective, so it's hard to judge what is good or bad. That is true. That is true. And there are a lot of people that disagree with that, by the way. Like, there are a lot of people that will tell you, like, your art is bad, and if you disagree, you're a moron. But, you know, it's just one of those things, like, we all have our own journey with our own struggles. If it wasn't this, then it would be something else. I'm just happy that I have art at all. That's good enough. But yeah, like, I need to figure out more ways to find joy in art again, besides just watching TV, because I don't think it's very productive. So I was thinking maybe I should just sit down with a sketchbook and like make some sketches that I know nobody will ever see, like I'm not allowed to post them on the internet or anything like that. And I think maybe that will be helpful, because then that will be low pressure, right? I get to express myself. Have you guys ever done anything like that? Like an exercise to just express yourself? I almost never do that kind of thing, so that's why I'm asking. Try cooking. Oh god, I can make grilled cheese. But I think finding a new hobby is circumventing the problem of your art no longer being your hobby. Spirit, do you make tutorials for ZBrush? No, but I do a lot of streaming. So if you have any questions about anything, like, just ask. The worst critic is yourself. Get out of your head. Digital magic. I love what I'm doing, so it's not a job. That's a good way to look at it. Experimenting and doing different stuff is essential. Mental hygiene. What kind of things do you explore? But what if you create an anonymous alias to put out your art experiments? Oh yeah, that works. Like, it's less pressure, right? Like, you won't feel like you're damaging your own brand by making those art experiments quite as much. In the end, it only matters to you because nobody really cares. Everyone is consumed with their own world and live in bubbles. That's totally true. I take it one step further and say that, like, in the end, like, really in the end, it only, like, you're not, when you die, like, or when you're about to die, you're not gonna think about your art in the sense of, like, you know, how much people give you compliments, or like how somebody told you to fix a thing and then you fixed it. Like, you're gonna look at your art if it made you happy or not, I think. So we might as well do what makes us happy, right? Frank Shaw, thank you so much. O nome da gatinha é Sparkles, como Robin Sparkles. O nome dele é Sparkles, ele é homenzinho. Keep in mind from an old man that you'll always be learning something new of how to get the job done better and faster. No one will know everything in a lifetime. That does help to put things in perspective. Yes, that will help you a lot. I love when people give constructive criticism of my work, but if they just hating, then it's cool too, because my haters are secretly my fans. My haters are secretly my fans. No, it's not untrue though. I've been weightlifting for 6 years, and the only way I can manage to keep loving it is when I combine new styles of training with my traditional. So right now, calisthenics is the shit. But maybe try sculpting something new or draw more again or something that makes you better but with new tools. It makes the journey so much more interesting. You're right, Rebugs. I'm going to do that. What exactly can I do? Probably drawing. Like, drawing used to be like my lifeblood, you know? Back in the day. And then like after I found sculpting, it kind of died off in the drawing a little bit. But I think I can do it again. I believe. So let's fix that armpit situation that we have going on. If the only thing I get done today is the armpit situation, then I will be happy. Because this is not okay. This is from when I posed it actually, like, we'll fix it, it'll be fine. Everything, guys, is gonna be a-okay. Creative mental hygiene. I do a bunch of traditional modeling, even being crappy at clay, papakura, fantastic to get off computer and put your hands physically. Sorry. Physically to do 3D, I deeply recommend. Yeah? I haven't done clay sculpting since I was like in elementary school. No, actually I did a little bit in college. Just a little bit. Just enough. But like I feel like I'm so clumsy. But you know, that's part of the deal, I think. Right, hello. Hello, Wazam. You have a bunch of 3D knowledge. Could be an interesting exercise to try. Imperfections are perfection. Imperfections. I think one of the things for me to try during this quarantine time, basically, if you weren't here before, like I'm basically trying to use the quarantine to work on myself as much as possible. It's not really quarantine, self-isolation, to work on myself as much as possible, and not just my skills, but like my mindset, finding joy in art again, things like that. So we're talking about suggestions and how to deal with all these things. Sorry guys, just smacked my microphone. Back, nice sculpting, thank you. But you'll find something eventually. Leave, OMG. I love this program, but it's not, it's simple for me. Leave, so, yeah, how do I always put it? The UI of ZBrush is a little bit scary because you see all these different buttons that you have no idea what they do, and like every word opens up into 5 more options and stuff, but like, the trick to learn ZBrush, in my opinion, is to take a step back, take a deep breath, relax, and start with the very basics, and try not to worry that everything else exists, because none of it matters. You only need to know like 5 things to start with ZBrush, and then you can like slowly over time add more and more things, you know? Tem uma diferença para modelar para VR e modelar para game? Só um pouco. A principal diferença, na minha opinião, é que a visão estereoscópica, acho que é, estereoscópica ela faz com que seja muito difícil enganar o olho do jogador com normal maps. Basicamente, normal maps são muito mais difíceis de usar. Então, eu tento modelar detalhes e coisas assim. E ao mesmo tempo também tem que ser mais otimizado. Então você fica preso numa área entre ter que otimizar mais e ter que botar mais detalhe modelado. You have to see 3D Max UI. That's a nightmare for beginners. ZBrush, it's just a bad dream. You know, I think learning software is a skill in itself. Like being able to learn. So like you just have to work on that skill. Pretend that learning software is just a very important part of the journey. Sometimes I take the naming standard and I kind of draw in what I'm going to model so that I don't lose it. So bring this entire shoulder area back a little bit, make it a little more slender. Think about how I'm gonna fix this. Maybe I'll try to leave it standard, but I don't think it's gonna work. I think what it's gonna take is going to be some very smart masking on our part. I'm going to take the next pencil. Try to smooth this. So I'm gonna mask some lines here. Try not to break everything while I do this. Just making an experiment. I'm not sure this is gonna work. Mike Morgan, how are you? Welcome. What's up? I'm doing good, just hanging out at home. The pressures of the industry drove me to stop making games and just play them. It's really sad, but I miss it. Aw, I know, like, it's very common. I believe most game artists, well, most game developers in general, or just like people in the game industry, quit after 5 years. I think there's something deeply wrong with the way that the game industry has been allowed to run. But that's like a discussion for another day. That's a little bit better. Still not perfect. That's definitely a little bit better. I'm just gonna have to zero match this later. I recently tried to keep myself mentally fit as much as possible. Cardio, yoga, and meditation helps out put my art into perspective. Unrelated. Can I have the playlist for those sweet beats? Basically, I'm just using this website called Pretzel Rocks. You should just Google Pretzel Rocks. It's like royalty-free music, and it's the upbeat station. I wish I could hear it, but I cannot. Você precisa ser mais cuidadoso. Não, bem, você precisa ser mais cuidadoso com detalhes. Ok, isso aqui. Sai fazendo tudo no Substance things. Like, okay, it's different than the famous multinational, but I'll hope of learning this awesome program. Thank you for the answer. You're very nice. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Fábio, tudo bem? Tudo bem aqui. Eu estou bem em casa, sem fazer nada. Além do stream, é claro. There might not be a way to fix this until I retop. That geometry right here is like, has sealed our destiny, kind of. Olá, Adislava. Aqui no stomach area, do know. I think I definitely got the curve of the back a little bit off. Try to fix that. Like one of the good parts of working in subdivisions is that you can like go to your lower subdivisions whenever you want and kind of fix the bigger picture stuff, like the curve of the back, for example, and without messing up like all your detailing. But yeah, guys. What are your goals for the next few months when it comes to your arts? While you answer, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go grab something. Is using photo scans as reference a regular way you use to study anatomy? It is one of the ways I use to study anatomy, and it's been the way I use more recently. I just find that they're like super helpful for getting a good feel for what really natural looking anatomy is, because you know, if you use anatomy breakdowns, then you're gonna end up getting like stiff, kind of like that stiff anatomy that a lot of people use. Which is very common. I'm not saying like bad things about people, but like you'll see a lot of characters being created that have like permanently flexed everything, permanently flexed abs, permanently flexed stiff shoulders and stuff. And I personally don't think that's one of the better ways to sculpt. And these references, they really help you get that natural feel. Even if you want muscle definition, even if you want all of that. Tristan, oh, that's looking good. Thank you. How are you? But yeah, I think photo scans are really helpful. By the way, I have my own Discord server where I've shared where I got these. I should basically share the link, so I can share the link with you guys. good time with the sculpts. Takes me a little bit out of my comfort zone. You know, it helps me learn. It's good to be taken out of your comfort zone. That was me reacting to my cat, like, you won't leave me alone. I'm good. How are you doing with everything going on? I'm doing good, thankfully. I get to work from home, so everything's kind of fine. I have enough food and provisions for a while. Everything's okay here. You know, I'm actually kind of enjoying staying home because I'm antisocial, and I'll probably change my mind about that in a few weeks. But you know, so far I can't complain. There are a lot of people less fortunate than me who don't get to work from home and stuff like that. Are you a freelancer or do you do work for a specific studio? I do work for a specific studio. We're a studio that makes serious training simulations in virtual reality. Why are you being weird, cat? God, yeah, normally I put the cat outside for these streams, and then I how do you say? I bring him out for my personal streams because he's like the star in those streams. But man, today I left him in the room, and now I paid the price. That's good to hear. Yeah, these are strange times, but I am trying, you know, like look a little bit on the bright side. You know how this is being great for nature and things like that. Like, that's great. Hi, did I miss the VR part? We've been discussing VR on and off for a while. But basically, I'm a VR professional, so if you have any questions about VR, specifically like creating art and and visuals for VR, make sure to ask. Work on the abs a little bit because I think like the abs are the coolest part, and I've neglected them. I might be a little bit too high poly. Go down one. Perfect. Sparkle. Cat's eating trash. My cat is literally eating trash. Are you giving critiques on other people's portfolios? Not today, but I do all the time. So you can send it to me privately, or you can you can come to my personal stream, which is tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Time. I can get the links out for you guys. The links are in chat. Very therapeutic to sculpt at this stage, isn't it? I've been finding a lot of refuge in ZBrush lately. My goal for this sculpt is to like get that muscular look without having it look unnatural, overly flexed, overly dramatic, striated. It's kind of like slowly building up. I like to build up volumes with the clay buildup. It's a kind of a slow process, but I find that it works for me. How do you guys make muscles? I'm curious to know, because everybody does it different. Slowing down and working on several pieces of the form. Yes. Sounds good. What time are you streaming? 5 p.m. Central Time. Hi, Ruckleback. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Damn standard plus clay building plus new clay. Nice. Chris, hi. So that's what you use. I use a lot of damn standard when I'm blocking, especially like, but I use it all the time too. To like create these like divisions between the muscles. I probably should use it more, honestly. What's the best anatomy tutorial you've ever watched, and why? Awesome music. Thanks. I can't hear it because my headphones aren't working properly anyway. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Sometimes when I'm blocking out the big shapes and muscle masses, I'll keep everything on separate subtools to easily play with shapes that I can then combine and work on like this. Oh, I've seen people do that, like, and then it's a pretty fun little way to do it actually, because especially if you're going like for stylized anatomy, I think it's a really good deal. You could probably like sell those like base tools with like all the different muscle groupings and different subtools. You could probably sell that on Gumroad or ArtStation or something. I believe that would be popular. How many hours I will use in a day? I don't understand. I feel like fast too. Like simplified planar model. Yeah, I think that's great. Take out my thing scanner right here. Cut in this shape. Have August ID on Gumroad. He has a really cool anatomy tutorial. I've actually been thinking about taking that. Did you take it yourself? How many do I use ZBrush? I mean, how many hours in a day? Bahez, that is a question that you're going to have to figure out. It depends on how much time you have, what you're trying to accomplish, how far along you are, what you're trying to do, basically. So that is a question for you. I don't know, but like whenever I was starting, I was doing a lot of hours per day. And I still would if I didn't have to like learn like 1,000 other skills because of my job. I used to do like 6 to 10 hours a day when I was just starting. Silicon Valley and the region. Yeah, totally. Like we did that on purpose. Like Bobby Hosha, yes. Oh cool. Was it the male one or the female one? I wonder why Twitch is glitching out for me. Maybe it's your stream. I'm gonna go ahead and save this just in case. And I'm also gonna pull up the old one because sometimes I learned this from Lena Lazar. Like if you I like to pull up the model as it looked at the beginning of the session, and then like switch back and forth and see if I've improved it, made it worse, if I've made enough progress, stuff like that. So this is what it looked like when we started today. This is what it looks like now. It's my cat. I am happier with the chest and shoulders for sure. I haven't made that much progress in the stomach area. Fix the curve of the back. Slim down that shoulder. In fact, I should probably check out the shoulder from this side because I should be doing whatever I did to this side, right? What do you guys think about courses like the Noman Workshop? Oh, I think the Noman Workshop courses, they're great. I've done a few back in the day. I think they're great. Noman has a very good reputation as a school. Both. Oh, nice, Fabio. Rafael's first anatomy tutorial was my first. Nice. Oh god. Was that too advanced to be your first tutorial? Like, how'd you feel? I have the female tutorial. I can actually sit down and learn it now that the quarantine is in effect. Yeah, the quarantine link, if we were to look on the bright side, it does give us extra time to learn new things, watch tutorials, get our anatomy going. I have coffee right here and I haven't been drinking it. Now I'm tired. Shubham, hey, short version of your anatomy learning experience. My short version of my anatomy learning experience. Anatomy's always been something I'm interested in as a character creator. Always. I've always done, back before ZBrush even, I used to do a lot of drawing from life, like life drawing, anatomy drawing, observational drawing, and those skills came in really handy whenever I moved into ZBrush. And like I've been kind of like learning anatomy forever, but like I haven't been like properly like sitting down and studying like the shapes of the body until maybe like 3 years ago. No, 6 years ago. Yeah. Happy Hush, I like her photo. It is a little bit dynamic, a little bit cool. Tristan, it was a bit much to digest all at once. I would imagine that tutorial like that would be a little bit hard to, but I mean, like, it works, you know? I just think to catch the woman anatomy, it's so hard. Everything is so delicate. That is a very common issue, I find. Like, not to sound weird, but like I find that women sculptors have a lot easier time to capture female anatomy. Like, naturally speaking, but of course, like, that doesn't mean that guys aren't good at it or anything like that, and that's just on average from my observation. Cat is so bad right now. Why are you being so bad? And that's because, like I was talking before, like a lot of people they take anatomy to this level where everything's tense and muscular and striated and veiny, and like the pores are large, and it's all like very masculine. Sometimes even overly masculine, even for like the male anatomy studies that they do, like it's still overly masculine, you know. And then they take those big pores, big wrinkles, like all these veins and like big tense muscles, and they try to bring it over to female anatomy, and that doesn't make that much sense. It honestly doesn't even make sense on a lot of male anatomy, right? Like, unless the muscle's tensed on purpose. But a lot of the time, like, people will make of course, my cat. People will make like T-pose models that are already like super tense. I don't have an example to show you guys, but it's just not good in my opinion to do that unless it's on purpose. And like, it just doesn't work. It becomes specifically apparent when it comes to female anatomy. Shyamalan, hello. Let's not drawing an anime drawing since I didn't have access to ZBrush or play at the time. Alright, like, that stuff really comes in handy. One question I always get is whether or not drawing is, like, a requirement for ZBrush, and I'm gonna say, like, no, but at the same time, it helps a whole lot. It's like, there's something like weirdly asymmetrical about the belly. Let me check something. Like, I hadn't done the asymmetry layer separately, so like maybe if I turn it off, I'll see something funny. You're right, that is funny. Male anatomy is easier. I'm actually trying to get better at female sculpting. It's hard but helps everything else. It's easy to masculinate sculpture. I wish, like, I don't know if there are any women in chat, but if there are, what do you think about this? Because I think, like, this is a very, weirdly, like, this shouldn't be, but, like, a gendered problem, because, like, I don't think female anatomy is harder than male. Pixel Devil, hi. I see you in the wrong channel. If you draw something, then that means you can see it in your head. Yeah, it's true. What do you use layers for? Grun. So, let me show you. Layers are good to keep parts of your modeling separate. So, example. Ignore that I'm turning these off. So this was my blockout, right? I blocked it out. This was it. This is what I thought, you know, whenever I was blocking out. This is what she looked like. And then I was like, okay, great, it's blocked out, but the next thing I have to do is I have to pose her. So I took a layer and I posed her. And what that did was that if I wanted to, after I posed her, if I wanted to, I could just come back here and unpose her, do like a little thing to her symmetrically. Let me have a layer to show you. Whatever. I could do something to her, like symmetrically, and then I could turn the layer back on, and then like, boom, now you have both. You have the pose, and you have the thing I just did. But if I hate it, now I can come here and take it off. So basically I keep it to make my workflow a little bit more flexible. So that if normally, like if you don't use layers and you do this, then like, and you decide to take it off, now you have to come in here and you have to like, smooth it or whatever, you know, like fix it by hand. But since you use the layer, you don't have to. You can just take it off, or you can make it softer. Like I did it too much. No, it's softer. I like that. Or you can even invert it. You know, now I want it to come out and make her look like slug. Then I can do that. Hello, do you have a page? I have my own Twitch channel, and I have Twitter, Instagram, and all these other things. So I can show it to you. And you can. I do my own Twitch stream, by the way, guys, in English. Every Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time. So the next one is tomorrow. Feel free to join us. The link is right there in chat. And if you follow me on social media, you can like send me questions, and I'll get to them. And we can chit chat. Especially now that we're all extra lonely because we can't leave the house, and stuff like that. And yeah, and you get updates about when I'm going live and whatnot. I had a teacher that said that males are better at males and females are better with females anatomy, but I guess it's because we look at ourselves all the time. I don't know. Probably. Like, quite probably. You need to have areas of rest so that the tense areas have more of an impact. I totally agree. So monsters, as long as you know to add the right muscle. I feel like I got lost in chat. Layers can be complicated, but I definitely recommend adding them to your workflow. So like here is a history of my layers. So this was my blockout, my original blockout, and then I posed it and refined it a little bit. You can tell it's ever so slightly refined. And then I kind of like refined the silhouette and made the pose a little bit more dynamic with the next layer. And then I did some fixing. So like this was like my fixing up layer. So you could tell like before this layer, I kind of went in here and I fixed like all that weird bumpiness around the boobs. We still have some, but you know, it's improved. Belly button was like weird before, now it's a bit less. And then for this layer, what did I do for this layer? I drew on a bikini, that's for sure, and refined it a little bit. You can tell, like, before I thought that this leg anatomy was off, and it was. And then with this layer, kind of fixed it up. And I think this layer is nothing because I don't really have anything in it. And this is the layer I was just using to show you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. Maybe delete this one, unless I can find what I did with it. I'll just use this one. I'm gonna poly paint off and bring back the bikini. And this is where we left off. Thanks, guys. So good, thank you. Why don't you name your layers? That would be too responsible, and you know, too responsible. But whenever I'm using my layers to actually separate things like pores and wrinkles and stuff, I 100% name them. I just didn't this time. But good eye, good catch. Whenever I become a teacher, I'm gonna be looking at the same things. I'll be like, why didn't you name your layer? And they'll be like, but you don't name your own layers. And I'll be like, you're the student. Name your layers. Just kidding, I'll have to leave by example. Sorry, I may miss that. Is she on layers right now? Oh, God, I don't understand. What brush do you use to carve in, if you don't mind me asking? Basically, the brushes I'm using the most are clay buildup, and to carve in, I use a lot of Damien Standard, or the clay buildup negative. Negative clay buildup? I've been weightlifting a lot lately. Ooh, let's take some tree off. Ew. Been weightlifting a lot, and kind of like hope to get shoulders like this one day. You see how the shape of the elbows is just totally wrong right now? Like, from having her elbows go in instead of out, like that's a disaster. We'll fix it though. It's okay. There's no reason to be hard on ourselves. Anna, I hope so. Yeah, is she on layers right now? I mean, her pose, yeah, her pose is on layers, but like there's so much on layers right now that like we can't unpose her and have it look normal. Unfortunately. Those look a little bit better to me. We'll have to fix the other side too, because I'm doing everything completely asymmetrically because I hate myself. You know, one of the bad things, like, for me, like, that has affected me directly is that I can't go to the gym during the quarantine. And I don't know, I don't have the equipment here at home, so I'm gonna have to buy some weights and like get them ordered on Amazon. But I feel bad because the Amazon workers don't get to quarantine. And like, you know, Jeff Bezos is the richest man on earth. And from what I understand, like, he's not really making it easy for anybody else. Saying where was it so nice, right? How did you get texture into the clothes? Carl, actually we did that today, but like there's really no texture, you know, like there's just a little bit of volume. All I did was extract from the mesh, from like her body. I extracted the clothes. I kind of inflated all the edges with the original mask that was on there, and then I just took the clay buildup and I just like did some really quick like some really quick bond creation, like that basically. I understand I can't go to the gym either, and I was just really getting into it. Same, like I started weightlifting in January, so like I'm still in the beginning phase, you know, I'm still learning all these different things. Can I see the reference picture? The reference picture is on screen. I might have the scan data. Oh, okay, you want to see the whole thing. I want to one day buy scan data, but until then, I will just use pictures of the scan data. Oh, Tristan, that'd be nice. You are doing traditional sculpture? I think so, yeah. With asymmetry. Is that what you mean? Where is the hands? We're not gonna have hands. Or head even, like I just added the head for now. So I'm gonna like cut it right there and then like cut right there. It's just gonna be like the torso, back, like torso and thighs and arms. Because I am cruel. The rest of the body will be in the DLC. That's funny. I'm doing digital traditional sculpture. Ah, I understand now. I missed that digital part. Oop. Sorry, guys. I feel like the volumes are very asymmetrical. I'm gonna have to address that. Or maybe she just works out one side better than the other. Well, actually, I have to make sure this perspective comes on. Okay, it is. Good. I see people posing their models in layers, that's why I asked. Oh yeah. I did do that, but then I did too much to it. Now like it's messed up. We have to do the back. That's something I wanted to do today. But there's so much to do in the front and all sides. There's like 360 amounts of people with things to do. Am I the only one getting weird pixelated glitches every few seconds? Everybody's been telling me that that's happening. I don't know how to fix that though. I'm gonna like look it up later today. But yeah, I don't know how to fix it. I think it could be just restream. Hopefully it's something easy. It might be something hard. I wish Gnomon Workshop would reduce their prices too for some time. Yeah, I mean, that would be lovely, right? But like, they still, like, they're people, they're not like multinational corporation, you know, they need to survive. Thrive. I feel like my voice is just getting worse and worse. I had like a full-on throat ache this week. And I was like, oh my god, I have a virus. How much ZBrush merch have you got? With me right now, just this mug. I don't know how much more I have. I have like maybe like 10 things? Well, I hope it gets fixed. I just got into ZBrush and would love to see more of these streams. Yeah, Shaman, of course. I hope it gets fixed too, and make sure to follow the channel because, you know, a lot of amazing artists do streams on this channel. So, like, you know, it's not just me and it's fantastic, and there's like so many stylized and people making animals and people and robots and aliens and hard surface stuff, and it's fantastic. It's actually like one of the things that got me into streaming was watching this channel. How the world works. It's a funny place. Yeah, I'm following. I had a friend tell me about this channel. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? Like, whenever I was starting to stream, I would watch all the Pixologic. Before I even started streaming here, I would watch all the Pixologic streamers and like take notes on what they were doing, how they explained things, if they were funny or mean or stuff like that. Like, and it just really came down to, like, from my observations, right? It just came down to every single streamer is completely different and everything's chaotic. But basically, like, you know, some of the streamers were extremely funny and like laid back. Some of the streamers were mean. That was a thing. And everybody just had their own little special thing. Straightening out this middle line. There's not supposed to be like that enormous curve there, like mine had. You know, and I was like, oh, okay, this person, they do it fast. Okay, this person, they just take a lot of time to explain. Okay, this person does this. And then, you know, I would take notes. And then I started streaming myself. And I've never looked back. You gotta have mean people to make the good people look better. Yeah, some of the mean streamers were the best streamers, the most beloved streamers. Kind of like how Gordon Ramsay is. Like, everybody loves Gordon Ramsay, you know? Everybody loves Gordon Ramsay, but he's hella mean. Or at least his persona is, you know? But, I'm gonna move this belly button. Done. I'm gonna call this piece finished. There's just something about it. Like, I think if people trust you, even though you're mean, they still love you. I have Estão muito entediados aí. Masterpiece. David, olá moça, boa tarde por aqui. Boa tarde, tudo bem? I love watching Shane Olsen. He is so good, isn't he? He has such a mastery of what he does. Like, everybody goes through him. It's like, you go to somebody who knows stylized work, they're like, oh yeah, I did Shane Olsen's course or something. Pretty nice. Olá, Ana Carolina, parabéns pelo trabalho por sair nessa batalha. Aqui em Paris também estamos todos fechados em casa. Não, assim, é uma ótima oportunidade, não é? Pra focar nos estudos e aprender coisas novas e relaxar um pouco. Tentando olhar pelo lado bom. Do you think ZBrush Summit will happen this year? I really hope so. Like, it's in... Do you guys remember when the ZBrush Summit is supposed to be? It's at the end of the year. So... I hope so. I hope that everything's back to normal by then. For more reasons than just the summit. But the summit is also, like, the best time ever. Like, I loved the summit last time. I was basically, like, on a high the whole time. Just getting to meet everybody that I had admired for so many years and stuff like that, like, it's crazy. Eu tirei as luzes psicodélicas lá atrás, obrigada. Eu gosto de me sentir como se estivesse debaixo d'água. Tudo bem, sempre ótimo ver trabalhos seus. Ah, obrigada, David. September, I really want to go this year. Oh yeah, I really want to go too. If we both go, we should talk. But yeah, like, for sure, it would be a huge bummer if it didn't, but you know, like, it's way more important to be safe than to not go. Like, you know, for GDC, I actually chose not to go. I was like, man, this virus thing, who knows how bad it will get. I don't think I'm gonna go this year, and like I had promised everybody I was gonna go, you know, and then they ended up just canceling the whole thing. So like I'm really thinking twice about getting any tickets to anything anytime soon. Anyway, I don't know about your guys' pets, but Sparkles is having the best week of his entire life because of the social distancing. Best week of his life because I'm home all day and he gets to harass me all day. He's very happy. Purrs non-stop. Don't mind the back anatomy, like it's a mess. It's all over the place. I haven't really focused on it that much. For sure, looks at you, one of my favorite streamers and artists. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, this guy. Yeah, the summit is magical. Like, I learned so much. And I met so many good people. Like, it was just my favorite combination of getting new skills and getting new friends. I still talk, like, regularly to most of the people I met there. Not most. A lot of people I met there. I didn't meet a lot of people. I don't like this pinching that I see right here. So, question: who is your favorite ZBrush artists and streamers? So I want to know your favorite artists and your favorite streamers. I don't have any, mostly because I love so many people so much that it's hard to rank them. A lot of you will agree with me that that's a hard thing to do, so I probably shouldn't have asked you guys to do it. But let's see, my favorite artists are... God, like I'd have to open up my Instagram following list and just tell you guys, like read it out one by one. But my favorite streamers, definitely Lena Lazar and A Cubed, by the way. Like, she streams on this channel every Wednesday. She's amazing. She's super fast. I recommend you guys checking it out if you haven't. Like, every Wednesday on this channel. I really like it when Steven Anderson streams. I don't know what his schedule is like or how often he does it, but it's really fun when he does. Like, you know, it's really hard to be like, a lot of people are really good artists but really bad streamers, or really good streamers and not so great artists. Like, there are some, like, the most best streamers you've ever seen. No, best artists you've ever seen. Ah, God, what happened to her belly button? No. We can fix this. Do you see, like, how her belly button got dragged down at some point? Quick save this. I'm gonna use the morph target brush to fix this. We're just gonna go back in history to whatever time period didn't have a messed up belly button. And I'll show you guys how to do that. Going back in history can be quite slow. Hopefully, like, there is a time in history where the belly button was messed up. Let me go all the way to the beginning. Okay, that's looking better. It's kind of frozen. Hey Scott, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna go all the way to the highest subdivision. I think I went back too far in the history, so let's keep looking for it. I hope it didn't break ZBrush, because, like, if it shuts down, then that becomes a lot harder to fix the problem. Alright, I'm just gonna go back to the first day in history here. Why did you come all the way over here? Just cough on me, cat. Alright, so, oh god. Okay, so here we have this mesh, and the belly button isn't messed up. Or maybe it is, but not as much. So I'm going to go to morph target, and I'm going to store morph target. Now the mesh is stored as morph target. Oh no. God dang it. Alright, so I'm going to store this morph target. But I accidentally got rid of history, which is great. Sigh. This is why we quick save. I'm gonna try a different thing. I have way too many quick saves. Holy crap. It's not good. I'm trying to think. Alright, so let's try this again. I'm gonna go all the way to the highest subdivision here, just in case. Oh yeah, the bot just told us that we have an upgrade, by the way, guys. If you have a ZBrush license and you want to get the latest upgrade that has a lot of fixed bugs, make sure to do it. I haven't done it yet, and I feel bad for it. So let me go ahead and save as... Oh. I froze it a little bit. No, I didn't. I just clicked out of the window. Sorry guys, technical difficulties over here. But since we saved, I'm not worried at all. That's the beauty of saving. Alright, so I'm going to get a save file that doesn't have the messed up belly button. Maybe this one? That's better, right? It's better belly button. And I'm going to save this one out. And I'm just kind of like test a thing. Proper belly button. That's what I'm gonna call it. Could you please do a tutorial to sculpt white shark on ZBrush? Gary James, that is so specific. I don't know if I'll have the time, but I'm sure you could find something online already, probably. But really it comes down to like, it's not about you know, having to watch a tutorial about how to sculpt each individual thing. It's about like, if you can improve your observational skills and your sculpting skills, you should be able to create anything that you want or need. Go up to the highest subdivision. Let's see if I can store a morph target across projects. I don't think I can. But there is a new brush for this. I just had to remember what it is. There's a brush that... Maybe that's reproduction? Guys, here, bear with me. You might know this. I forgot which one it is, but there's a brush that projects from one model to the other. I might do the ZBrush brush, but I'm not sure. I haven't used it since I did the ZBrush beta, and I should. It's a very good brush. Let's try it. I'm gonna go here to the one with the messed up belly button. And I'm going to append as a subtool. I'm gonna hide these for a second. Appends this one. The one with the more proper belly button, which isn't even that proper, honestly, but we do what we can. Let's see what happens if I project. History brush. Oh my god, I think that's the one. I don't know, is it? Try to break down the area you're having problems with into parts and then attacking those parts individually. Basically I just want to like fix the belly button. I want a tutorial please because I'm stuck. Why are you stuck, Gary James? Tell us more about your stuckness and maybe we can talk you through it. We have time. ZBrush artists that sculpt animal? So many. My favorite is... I don't know how to say her name. Crystal say Ewa. Charles, hello. Welcome. But yeah, tell us what's going wrong and then we'll try to help you out. If I had done the history recall, it might have been fine if I didn't, you know, like destroy my history at the same time. Yeah, I don't have any stored data for that. Let me try the project brush. I have not used this yet. See, project. Oh, if that doesn't work, I know what I'm gonna try. It's gonna be fun, actually. You know, when you have to say that everything's fine, but everything's not fine. Let me improve this focal shift situation right here. What did I do here too? What the heck did I do to my model, guys? wonder why I'm getting that little hole. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna fill this hole up like this, and then I'm gonna project again. There. That kind of worked. It gave us a little like bumpiness, weirdness. Probably because like this wasn't the proper history. But it works. Woo. And then I can just like kind of smooth out this situation right here. God, like I love the guys who make ZBrush. Like I don't even know who is in charge of what, but they are so good with their tool creation. Like they create these tools that no other software has, that just makes life so easy. By the way, use a tablet or mouse. I use a simple Wacom Intuos tablet thing. It's like super simple, super cheap. It works really well. I'm really happy with that. So like we had gotten a little issue with the hole in the belly, but once I filled that hole out, I think it's because it was lower than the basically like the depression of that hole was lower than the project mesh, and if I made it higher than that, it would project perfectly, but lower it wasn't getting affected. But yeah, I recommend if you're sculpting or painting, always use a drawing tablet. It's the better choice for the simple fact that when you use a mouse, it's binary, so it's on or off. Like, so the pressure is always like on or off. Let me show you. So this is what it looks like with a mouse, right? Like, let me turn it to 100%. You don't get any subtlety. You don't get to change. You don't get to change the pressure. Look at the same exact brush, but with the pen. Now I'm pressing not very hard. Now I'm pressing hard. Now I'm pressing not very hard. Now I'm pressing hard. You see the difference? Like I can do all kinds of cool things, and I think it's very, very important and almost mandatory for actual organic sculpting to use a pen tablet. And thankfully, a lot of them are very cheap nowadays. You know, you don't have to break the bank. You don't need an expensive Cintiq 27-inch monitor to do this. You can just get like a $50 tablet and you're good. So now that the belly button situation is under control, I can keep going with other things. I think after the stream is done, I'm gonna ZBrush this because like I used I think a Dynamesh mesh, so you can tell like how the topology is pinching all over the place, and that really is not conducive to a clean piece. One of my most important mottos for sculpting is to always keep your piece as clean as possible until you're ready to consciously stop doing that, basically. Acer Art. How did you get this opportunity as a Pixologic streamer? I had been streaming for like a little while on my own channel, which I still stream in. And let's see. I had been streaming for a little while, and I've been trying to establish myself as somebody who did ZBrush live and all these different things. And I had been kind of studying how the Pixologic artists did their streams because I really liked them, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like learn a little bit from them. Until I saw one of them say like, oh, hey, by the way, I hear that Pixologic is looking for new streamers. And then I was like, shit. So I had only been streaming for 2 months at this point. And I was like, oh my god, I need to sign up. But I suck, and nobody knows me. But it doesn't matter. I'm gonna sign up anyway because, you know, like, I felt like, yeah, I would let myself down by not taking the chance, and the worst thing that could happen is they wouldn't email me back or either they wouldn't email me back or they would just tell me no, right? I was like, that's the worst thing that could happen. So I applied. I remember exactly how it was because they had like a little PDF that you had to fill out for applying, and they were like, you had to fill out how many followers you had on Twitch and how many subscribers you had. And I was like, I have 55 followers and 0 subscribers. And I was like, man, they're never gonna choose me. Like, literally, I have 55 followers and 0 subscribers. Well, I sent that in and I forgot about it completely until like a few days later I got an email back and they were like, holy crap, coincidentally, we were just looking at your stream here at Pixologic and like passing it around. And I was like, oh my god, my stream? What the fuck? Like, you got the wrong person. And they were like, yeah, let's have a talk. And then the rest is history. Now I stream here. I've been streaming here for over 2 years in English and Portuguese, doing all sorts of things. Sculpting with a mouse is also worse for your hands because you end up clicking a lot. True, it could be bad for like carpal tunnel, repetitive stress syndrome? No. Injury? Repetitive stress injury? Repetitive movement industry injury. I did buy a Cintiq because I can't handle the movement with hands not on the medium. What do you mean movement with hand not on the medium? Why do you think they suck? This model looks good. I don't necessarily think I suck, Maestro, but at the time I definitely did. But thank you so much, by the way. But like, at the time I was like, man, I'm not a good streamer. I am super slow. I'm not good like the others. But it just goes to show, like, we are our worst critics. And not just that, even if we think we're right about how much we're bad and like we suck or whatever, like, it doesn't matter. Because at the end, we're not the ones giving ourselves the opportunity. It only matters if you're like, if other people think that you deserve that opportunity. And oftentimes that's the case. But we'll never know unless we try, right? Like, whenever I sent in that message to Pixologic to like apply for streaming, I knew for a fact, guys, that I wasn't gonna get in. So much so that I literally forgot I ever applied. Like, I knew for a fact, I was like, this is a pipe dream, but I'm gonna give it a quick shot. Heck, why not? And then it happened. And honestly, like, the streaming, like, just overall streaming has changed my life for the better by 1,000. I believe in myself more, I talk more, I'm less, I'm more outgoing because I talk so much on these streams, like, things like that. Like, it's just so, my life has changed, and I would never have gotten it this far if I hadn't taken that chance, because I knew deep in my heart that I wasn't going to get it, but I got it because I didn't actually know, I was just assuming. And I feel like we do that to ourselves a lot. We as artists, like, we're always comparing ourselves, you know, like, I get people coming up to me and being like, hey, I've been sculpting for like 6 months now and I'm not getting better, and such and such guy from Weta or Blizzard or whatever is so much better than me, like, I'm never gonna get to his level. I'm like, bro, this guy has been doing it for 10 years. Like, you can get there. But it's all about our mindset. Like, it's about hard work, you know. We have to believe in ourselves. And even if we don't, we have to act like we do. Because it's really easy to quit or stop or stay behind because we don't believe in ourselves. Oh, count with me as your follower. Thank you, Fabio. Speaking of which, I'm going to post my links again. Not to sound bad, but if you want to ask me a question in private, talk to me, keep up with my streams and all that, make sure to follow me on any of these platforms. You know, and I'll get to your messages and all that. And also, I have a Discord channel where we all hang out offline. You know, we share tutorials, we do all sorts of stuff. I'm putting the link in there as well. Like, it's a really nice channel. But yeah, like, it totally, like, it was so easy to not believe in myself, but I took that chance, and like, I don't regret it. And I think I need to learn from that. I mean, I have learned from that, but I need to learn even more, you know, like, to just do it, do the thing, follow my heart. If someone who never did sculpting or art would start practice a few hours a week, how many years would it take to get somewhat competent at making models with ZBrush? Sadly, I wish it was, but sadly, none of this is a math problem. Like, it's not quantifiable. I can't tell you how long it would take for any person to get good, because it depends on literally everything. Everything's a factor. Your background, how adept you are at observation, how adept you are at learning software, how much time you have, whether you're being efficient with your studying or not, whether you're just doing the same thing over and over again, are you trying to break bad habits? Like, literally everything's a factor. So I can't tell you, but like I know that like a lot of people right off the bat are amazing, and then a lot of people take a couple of years, a lot of people take 6 months, you know, it depends. Maybe it gets even harder depending on the size because precision of that. I guess they're talking about tablet. Gotta have a clear targeted goal. It's different for everyone. Yep. Yeah, it's like I wish there was a way for me to just like put in a calculator and like take your entire life and calculate based on it, but unfortunately I don't have it. If I did, I probably would make money off of it. God, there's so much to go in this piece. I should probably spend some of my free time working on it. Like, one of the things I did, like, I feel bad for working on my sculpts offline. Like, I want to do it with people because, you know, like people were watching as I started on this, so they should be watching the whole time because I feel like they're part of it. But also, I should probably work online because I am taking too long, and I am so slow when I sculpt on stream. It's a phenomenon. And I always, throughout the entire process, keep an eye on my silhouette. I don't stop just because I'm done with the primary forms. Like, I keep an eye on it, and I keep fixing it throughout. Master Mouse, what are you focusing on right now? What do you mean focusing on? You mean for the sculpts, for my life? For my skills? What do you mean? Because I am focusing on a lot of different things, but in a lot of different areas. So like I have a focus for my job. I have a focus for my career overall. I have a focus for my skills, for my portfolio, for etc. For the sculpt. So I'm kind of going all over the place and finding the biggest areas to fix, ignoring the back. So like the focus is definitely not the back. Kind of just going there, looking at silhouette, looking at certain muscle groups, like just things that I think are really messing up the flow. I'd see a discussion going on in chat about Cintiqs versus Intuos and all that, and like it's really a personal thing. Like it depends on how you sculpt, how you feel. Like a lot of people can't get used to the Intuos, which is something I can't relate to, but it seems to be common. But I just want to like make one thing that I find to be very clear is that the tool you're using, as long as it works, should be enough. Like a lot of people tell me like, hey, I'm a beginner at ZBrush, just got my own, like just got started, got my own license, whatever, but I can't really start until I get a Cintiq monitor 17 inches, and I'm like, that's not true. Like, you don't need all that. A Cintiq monitor doesn't make you better at sculpting compared to an Intuos, compared to a small one, compared to a big one. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like, I always use the metaphor that you could drive a super cheap car, or you could drive like a Ferrari, but deep down, which car you're driving doesn't make you a better driver. The same thing is with the Cintiq versus Intuos versus what's the other one, Huion or whatever, and stuff. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not about spending more money. You know, like, there are some very cheap ones out there that you can totally use and be a very, very competent artist. Or you can, you know, because the thing I found is that people wait. Like, they wait until they can afford this, like, $2,000 piece of equipment. And I'm like, don't do that. I started ZBrushing with the trackpad on my first laptop. There you go. Like, you can't let anything, I mean, like, that's not good. But you can't let stuff get in the way of starting. It's really easy to use your lack of equipment as a crutch, in a way to feed your resistance and be like, oh, can't work. Don't have a Cintiq 27 inches. Sucks to be me, you know. I started with a $20 pen pad. When I first started using my Intuos, I thought I'd have trouble for not seeing the screen on the tablet, but a couple tries and it became second nature for me. Like, I just need, like, people have that issue, right, Levi? And, like, they say, oh, I can't see it on my pen, so I can't do it. And I'm like, do you have to see, like, you use your mouse, and you don't see the screen on your mouse, but you're still able to use your mouse. Like, it's the same exact thing as using a normal mouse. Yes, I'm totally with you. It doesn't matter if you go for Huion or Wacom. I tried multiple devices before, and I did like the Cintiq most, not because of its price, but because of build quality and haptics. How detailed are you going to go on the hands? On the hands? Oh, not at all. I'm just going to cut them out like this. Speaking of which, I'm going to take this little time to fix this cut. Maybe the trim adaptive one is a better choice for this. Give it a good old slice. I always find that, like, if you're not going to make the entire body, like, doing these clean cuts helps a lot with presentation, like, a whole lot. Like, it's crazy how much better it looks. Getting a mouse was a huge game changer for me after then. I think being able to see the screen on Cintiq ends up being a lot attractive for inexperienced people. Probably. Do Ryzen 5 will work well, that's fine. Funnily enough, when you look at pictures of people first using the mouse in the past, they had a sort of aim glasses as aids because they were afraid they would not be able to learn using the mouse while looking at the screen. Yeah, it's the exact same thing, and we're like, mouse is second nature. You don't see the screen through the mouse, like, why do you need that for your tablet? But I understand. Like, it's scary and it's new. Like, you just guide yourself based on where the cursor is, right? With the mouse. Like, now I'm using the mouse. I know exactly where I'm aiming because the cursor's there. It's the same exact thing with the tablet. I know that where my cursor is. That's all I need to know. Smartest! I actually talked about you today. Welcome, welcome. I wish my abs were that tight. I know, right? Really, what I'm jealous about, I was telling them earlier, is the shoulders. I like women with, like, big square shoulders. I've been working on a lot, and hopefully I'll get there by the end of the year. But yeah, I was talking to them about my favorite streamers. set my intensity to 100%, and I was like, why is this so weird? Carving in like this lack of volume right here. There's people out there making great sculpts with a mouse, but they might have some masochistic tendencies, but it's possible. But it definitely lessens your chances of making an amazing sculpt easily, especially if you're a beginner. Like, when you're a beginner, you need to kind of set yourself up for success. And a mouse is not doing that. Hope you were having in the list of your famous streamers. You're on everyone's list. Oh my god, and I wish and I hope. How are you doing on lockdown? How's everybody doing in lockdown? I've asked this question like 5 times today, but it always changes. Tudo Luna, oi, tudo bem? Gotta reflatten those nubs. What, the hand nubs? Whenever you're sculpting women, by the way, like, you know how we were having a discussion earlier about common mistakes while sculpting women? Things like too much muscle definition, big veins, big pores, stuff like that. Is to make sure you add in the fat. And that means a little bit of cellulite bumpiness right here, like stuff like that. You see how fit this woman is? She has very low fat percentage, but she still has like a little bit of fat dimplage. If that wasn't a word before, it is now. And you'll notice, because women, they carry their fat differently than men. Men tend to carry their fat, like a lot of their fat in what do you call it? Between their organs and like under muscle, and women carry a lot of their fats right under the skin. Even extremely thin women. It's kind of like nature's, it's kind of like an evolutionary trait, because nature needed to keep females alive, because, you know, they're very, very important for reproduction. There needed to be as many alive as possible. So in order to keep them alive, no matter how skinny you get, you need to have that fat reserve in case you hit hard times. So you'll find that like a lot of sculptors will forget to add a little bit of fat. Right now I have no fat on mine, but I will whenever I get to later stages of this model. I just don't think adding now will be a good idea, because like I'm still not done with the musculature. So adding like, I guess like tertiary detail, kind of like forms, not detail forms, would kind of get in the way of that whenever if I wanted to fix a muscle. Maybe I could add it as a layer. I definitely could add it as a layer. But we have to take that into consideration. It's really easy. Like even anorexic women, like from like, I watch a lot of shows about that actually. Even them, they have like so little fat that they've lost their periods and all these things, and they look skeletal. You'll notice that the legs and sometimes the butt, hips, and the stomach still have that softness to it. So that's a good thing to keep an eye out for, because if you were doing a man who had this exact same amount of fat, let's say he had the same amount of fat, same fat percentage, he probably would have like that cut striation in the muscles right here, without as much dimplage. And somebody told you that you're dropping 3 frames every 30 seconds. I am having issues, technical issues today, especially on Twitch specifically. I'm having some sort of glitch. Do you know the difference between H-polish and trim dynamic brushes? I tried googling but didn't find anything. I have used both, but I couldn't tell you that much, but let's find out. So trim dynamic. I don't know. Both are cool though. I'm getting like, this is gonna sound super like basic, but I'm getting more of a polish look from the H polish, whereas the trim dynamic keeps those like hard angles at the cuts. Let me show you. It just seems like there's like some sort of fall off difference. But I am not the right person to tell you that. Baby Rasmus man, I'm here, but my dog needs a walk. We carry our fat in our belly. But even the belly fat, you'll find that a lot of the belly fat in men it looks stiffer and smoother. And that's just because it's not right under the skin. Just fun fact. Not as much anyway, like there's fat under skin of course, but which is funny because like OBS tells me if I've had dropped frames, and I think it's a Twitch issue because it says here that everything's fine. But it might also be because like we're all on lockdown and the internet is slower for everybody and stuff like that. So yeah, it looked like polish had better blending. It didn't feel that way, right? Each polish works more to maintain major shapes, while trim dynamic is closer to just a flattened brush, but the flattening happens differently. Thank you, Luigi Brassi. Fashion, hello. So I'm going to first add in kind of like some of the muscle definition without adding in too much any fat, because that would just mess up the cleanliness of my sculpt. And again, I like to keep it as clean as possible for as long as possible until I make that conscious choice to not make it as clean. And I'm doing this like, this is a large muscle group. Do you see that? Like, I'm doing it in the lower subdivision because that will help me maintain that cleanliness. If I did it at a super high subdivision, like I get like this bumpiness and nobody wants that. Ain't nobody has time for that. One of the things I hate the most about sculpting, I guess, which I don't hate much about sculpting, but it's that its propension for lumpiness. It's very, very easy to get a lumpy sculpt. Happens to everybody, especially at the beginning when we're a little bit over eager to work in higher subdivisions. And so we can get that discipline to work in lower subdivisions. Amiga, hi from India, hello. What angles are you using? The default one. Where do I see the focal length 50? Did you say before doing that? Doing what? Did I do something bad? If anything, the sculpt is a lot of inspiration to work out. I'm like, man, I've been working out a lot, but like, I want to get to this level. Okay, maybe not so much. This is like a full-time job. keeping this body probably. And I do not have time for that. But something similar. I wouldn't complain. I have 20 minutes left on the stream. If you guys have any questions or anything, make sure to send them. I'm working the subtleties of the shapes, so you guys are not gonna notice too much difference, you know. But like, I'm just trying to get a little bit more subtle. Like now, I just add a little bit of like a little fat pocket right there, you know. Things that are subtle, but that really push the model a little bit further. I feel like I can be in this phase forever if I wanted to, which is not necessarily a good thing. Luke said, "So cool, thank you, Luke." Giving my cat a pet. Pet back and use it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but last stream you said tomorrow's stream is in Portuguese, right? No, tomorrow's stream is in Portuguese and English, but it's usually like mostly English with a little bit of Portuguese thrown in. And it's on my personal channel. This channel right there, Anna Carolina _arts is the channel that I do most of my streaming in. What's your most used brushes for something like this? Good question, students. I don't use a lot of fancy brushes when I'm doing anatomy. I use Damien Standard, Clay Buildup, and Snake Hook. A lot of people will use, instead of Clay Buildup, they will use clay or like Standard or something, but if you couldn't tell, I am a very subtle artist when it comes to ZBrush. Like I use low intensity. I do stuff like that. So like clay buildup helps me make more of an impact faster. It's just a way to work around. So like sometimes if you have a heavy hand and you're not like me, clay buildup might be too much. And then I use Snake Hook instead of Move because of the same exact problem. It helps me be a little bit bolder with my strokes. Because I am so light-handed. Question, let's say you're putting down a nice crease with the Damien Standard and you need to continue with second brush stroke. How do you make it look seamless from the first? What do you mean? I dropped a follow and thanks for answering the question. See you, it's not their time. Thank you, Maestro. I appreciate it. You're polishing her at all? Guys, I'm going to drop my links again just because I've done it so many times. Might as well keep going, right? Do you mean just in general, like I was polishing the... Cat's like, going cray cray. Is cray cray something people even say anymore? Wait, this is like really fun for me. I'm probably gonna do this as my Saturday project. You know, since I can't go out or do things. I think it from ZBrush. Oopsie daisy. That was my fault. Like sometimes like ZBrush will need to take a second to like think. Oh, that's the wrong ZBrush. I still have 2019 installed. And I just opened it. I still say cray cray. There's at least one other person. Yes, we are partners in cray cray crime. ZBrush 2020. Take this moment to stretch a little bit. Sorry for the confusing questions, the tricky questions you ask. Oh yeah, I totally get that. Like, sometimes it's really hard to word things, just in general. I wonder when's the last tool. I wonder if it's the same. Probably it's. Look at that red wax. I'm gonna change the red wax material before somebody gets angry at me. What do you think about the method one sculpt per day? I think it's great. Like, why not? If you are trying to get faster in sculpting or like get more ideas out, then one sculpt per day is a great thing. I think anyway. Red wax. I do wonder what it is with the red wax. It's like an insider joke for like ZBrush users where everybody hates red wax, but like I always think that's so funny. I sometimes wonder if the judging red wax is a way to gatekeep, actually, like, you know, because it's like the default material. A lot of beginners use red wax. And I think that's part of the problem, is that like people hate red wax because like they want to gatekeep beginners. I don't know. That's my theory. I wish they changed the startup material to nightcap gray. You can change your own standard material, by the way. I don't remember how. I don't remember how, but there's definitely a way. I've seen it be done. Kept red wax a long time, shame on me. No, that's like, it's not bad. In the material menu. Oh yeah, there it is. Safest startup material. It is so out here, like, damn. Yeah, so like if you just select the basic material that you want, you go to here's material, save a startup material. Thank you, Quinn Sparks. Oh, it's in the lighting, if I'm not mistaken. I read a description about it once, and you can't see the details as well as nightcap gray. But a lot of, you can see a lot of different things with red wax. Like, honestly, I don't see that there should be a discrimination against any material, because red wax has its benefits. Like, you can see the cavities and stuff really, really well on red wax. Come on, cat. My cat just, like, unplugged my headphones and stuff, so now there's no music. Now there's definitely no music. Here it is. Oh, never mind. It was... It's a disaster. Can you guys hear music? Is it too loud? Like, see, like, you can see the cavities really well, So it can come in handy. I just don't think we should discriminate, because like all the materials have their own strengths, and the thing is that if you switch between materials a lot during your sculpting process, it can actually be highly beneficial to you, because your sculpts in ZBrush, like, they don't look like this anywhere else, really. Yeah, the cat unplugged the music. They don't look like this anywhere else. Take this into Unreal, take it into Marmoset, Keyshot, doesn't matter. Like, it's gonna look a little bit different everywhere. So like actually looking through different materials is gonna give you a good idea of like what's good, what's bad, what's wrong, in different lighting scenarios and whatnot, so that you can really nail home the shape and not just how it looks. Like right now it looks a certain way, but it could totally be weird and wrong. This one's cool. It's pretty, but it's very similar to the Madcap Gray. Yeah, when I sculpted in Blender, the best Madcap in it was pretty similar to Red Wax. Hello, Ragar. As far as noise. Only gonna stream for 10 more minutes, so if you have a question, please send it now. Or forever hold your peace. Dun, dun, dun. Disaster. Do you guys think I should make her face, or do you think I should just like simplify it even more? Like, maybe like only 10 minutes? I know, I've been streaming since 10 a.m. It is now 12:50. I always stream for 3 hours and then I go grab lunch because I am starving. That's my thing. It's my, I was doing a podcast and somebody asked me what was my ritual, like my streaming ritual, and I'm like, my streaming ritual, it's like putting on makeup before the stream, but in my head I'm like, and then after the stream I just attack the fridge. Simple face looked cool. Which one? Simple face. How long you've worked in the industry? 5 years. No, 4.5 years. Almost 5. Are you planning to end hands and feet given where your model is? How would you go about that? No, I'm not gonna add hands and feet, but if I were, I would just Dynamesh them on. I actually have hands and feet already modeled, so like I could just like throw them on. Dynamesh. It's only 1 o'clock. Yeah, and I'm hungry. Starving. In Minnesota, we have the same time zone. Yay! I'm hungry because like I don't ever eat breakfast. I hear it's bad for you, but who has time for that? Quite honestly, who? I would like to meet this person who has time to breakfast. Just kidding. Like, I ate today for the first time, like breakfast for the first time, because I've decided that like my streams go really badly when I don't eat. Like, it's ridiculous how bad my streams go, mentally anyway. Like, I'm like, oh god, I have to go, I gotta go, and then I don't enjoy my streams if I'm hungry. Whose fault is that? It's my fault. Antonio, hello. Yeah, like, that goes as a tip, like, if you're gonna stream, make sure you eat ahead of time, because like, and eat something that doesn't make you have a sugar crash, because streaming is extremely draining on energy. Smartest, you could probably back me up on this one, if you feel the same. I don't know if you do, but like for me, like streaming, it just drains my energy like nothing else. Like maybe like the gym, I go to the gym and I come back tired, just like streaming. But yeah, so if you eat something that gives you a sugar crash, or if you don't eat anything, then you are in trouble. Pressure, no breakfast is good. Intermittent fasting is good for you. Smartest, I didn't do breakfast either. Had to feed the kids, and my wife is sick, so I fed her too. Oh gosh. Hope she gets better soon. Extremely, yes. Extremely. What do you... ZBrush, Madi, ZBrush is the industry leader, and it's the industry leader in character creation and organic sculpting. There really is no competition. Like, there are other softwares that do what ZBrush does, but like to like a 20%, you know, they don't have half of the functionality that ZBrush does. ZBrush is what is used in studios. You know, I come to find that it's not as much like, you know, depending on the studio you go, you'll see Maya or Max or Moto or whatever, and it will change based on what studio you're at. But like ZBrush is pretty constant. Like almost no studios that I see asking for character artists require anything else other than ZBrush. I mean, like they require other software, but not like other sculpting software. So I always say that if you're getting into the industry, and you're trying to be a character artist, you should spend some time learning ZBrush. It's a good investment. Sorry to say, I also get tons of water. Oh yeah, for the stream, it's important, right? My voice is starting to like crack after this time. Hey Paolo, how often do you see environment artists using ZBrush? I don't know if I have like a how often, but I think it's common because they add a lot of, I believe a lot of wear and tear to their models in ZBrush, and they do rocks and bricks and things like that in ZBrush a lot too. I've seen it be done a lot. But it like I do find that Substance Designer is also taking the cake a lot, like when it comes to bricks and textures. Do you use Marvelous Designer for this clothes on your figures, or do you hand model them in ZBrush? It depends on what I'm making clothes for. I've done both. Sometimes a combination of both. Actually, like if it's Marvelous, then I always bring it into ZBrush. It's looking really good. Thank you. Are you finished? No, I'm not finished, but I'm almost done with my stream. I only have like less than 5 minutes to go, so I'm just taking this time to talk to you guys. You know, I think that's important. Tomorrow more? Yes, I will be streaming tomorrow night on my personal channel. So it's Anna Carolina Art right there in the screen. You can see it. At the end of the stream, I'm gonna post the links. But yeah, for sure, like I'm gonna be streaming, and like the streams on my channel are a little bit different. They are still ZBrush, but like a little bit more chill. I guess like chill ZBrush. We party a little bit. I call it ZBrush and chill. I'm gonna try to fix this glitching problem though. I don't know what that's happening. After this, what we will be doing retopology. I'm probably gonna make the clothes better. I'm just gonna make them again, and make them more officially, like with proper topology and stuff. Proper masking would be good. But yeah, guys. I'm really enjoying the stream because, you know, like isolation, I like being isolated, but at the same time, like I feel like it's very beneficial to chit chat with like-minded individuals. Man, what do you guys use ZBrush for the most? And what's your favorite thing to sculpt? I asked that every stream, but I forgot today. My favorite things to sculpt are animals, ladies, and creatures. Sometimes all at the same time. You create the impression of skin while preserve. How do you create the impression of skin while preserving the muscles and bones beneath the layer of skin? The way I do it is I put the skin on its own layer for one. Like, that would just help keep separation. Like, it's amazing to do the layer thing. Just do the layer thing. It's important. And then just, you know, be careful. Like, add wrinkles, add sagging, add a little bit of fat and stuff, and it should be fine. And then since it's not a layer, you can just make the layer softer, or delete a certain part, or erase a certain part. You know, if you're working with subdivisions, it really helps, because then you can like edit the muscles on a lower subdivision and then edit the skin at a higher subdivision, and then they shouldn't have too much crossover. Like, that's a great tip for you. Smartest, I use ZBrush just for messing around, just to play. Nobody pays me to use it. Smartest, it's kind of the same for me. Like, honestly, like, as of right now, my job requires like almost no ZBrush at all. Like, at all. I use it every once in a while, but 99% of the time I don't use ZBrush. I've only gotten into ZBrush in the past couple of months, but I'm really enjoying it. But just playing, oh yeah, it's a DJ browsing, I'm happy. And you're already even like new stuff, like to help us today. That's awesome. I'm glad you're coming to the streams too. Like, that's a big deal. I use it only for organic stuff because it's not that intuitive for hard surface things. I make lots of hard edge stuff on ZBrush, but might sculpt a chimp next. Oh my god, a chimp, nice. Like, the hard surface tools in ZBrush, they are my ultimate tease, because I haven't learned them yet. They require a lot of muscle memory, which I've come to find, but at the same time, like, they're so powerful. Have you ever seen like time lapses of people sculpting ZBrush? It's something else. Not sculpting, making hard surface model in ZBrush. Like, it's something else. It's crazy. It's so good. On that note, guys, thank you so much for coming and watching. I'm going to post my links in chat right here for you guys. If you want to get in touch with me in any way, ask a question, whatever, make sure to do it through like Instagram, Twitter, ArtStation. It's the easiest way to reach me. I have my own Twitch channel, and everything, by the way, is called Anna Carolina Art. I have my own Twitch channel. It's all in chat, where I do every Sunday a live stream in ZBrush. And it's like fun and chill. And on top of all of this, I also have my own Discord server where we chit chat offline. We share tutorials, we share tips, we do critiques. So if you have art that you want critiqued, or if you want to show off your art or whatever, like get follows on Instagram or whatever, just join the Discord and you can post all of that in there in the correct channels. Guys, thank you so much for coming. You guys are amazing. Thanks everybody who helped out with the technical issues. I hope you had a good time. Make sure to follow the Pixologic channels, because so many amazing, bonkers good artists stream on here. Like, it is some top level Twitch streaming. So make sure to follow wherever you might be watching from, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow or whenever I come back. Thank you. Bye bye.